This video is designed to help you understand the answer key to Lab 7, Air Masses, the Mid-Latitude Cyclone, and Weather Maps. By watching this video, you're going to have some good preparation for our upcoming exam. Understanding weather maps and understanding how the weather is going to change in a mid-latitude cyclone is one of the key things I want you to understand about meteorology. We're going to spend our time looking at pages 181 and 182. 181 is the weather map that you were supposed to annotate, and this is showing a slide from the instructions of this lab. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the answer key for the map, and then we're going to go through each of these towns to understand what exactly it is that I wanted in that section. So here's the completed weather map, and I know it's a bit busy, but let's take a look at it. The isobars are shown in the blue lines, and the lowest pressure is in the center, and the highest is on the outside. Each of these individual station models has a pressure that matches that particular gradient. We then have a cold front and a warm front. Now I placed the cold front here because of several factors, such as the wind direction changing from southwest winds on this side to northwest winds on this side. Also, you can see the temperature difference. Out here, the temperature is 46, 46, 41, 36. On this side, it's 72, 75, 72, 70. So it's much warmer here than over here, and that makes it a good place to put the cold front. The warm front was placed over here, again based primarily on temperature and wind direction changes. So down here we have the southwest winds, and up here we have winds coming from the southeast or the east. We have warmer temperatures on this side of the warm front, 60 degrees, 54 degrees. On this side we have 31, 34, very cold temperatures. So this is where I placed the warm front. The mass of air up here is a maritime polar, which means it's cold and humid, coming from the Atlantic. This is a maritime tropical, so it's also humid, but it's warm, coming from the equatorial region. Up here we have a CP, which is continental polar. Continental means dry, and polar means cold. And so this air mass is what's coming down and sort of pushing this entire system from west to east. So let's start by looking at Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm going to blow up this map so that you can see this area in detail. So let's get you figured out here. Here's the cold front. Here's Chattanooga. Remember, this dashed black area is my cloud cover, although it could have probably extended out here because we can see that there's partial cloudy skies out here. And these are the parameters I wanted you to look at. How is the temperature, wind, precipitation, cloud cover, and pressure going to change over the next 24 to 48 hours? Well, Chattanooga is about to experience this cold front coming through. So the temperature is going to drop. Right now it's 66, and you can see on the other side it's 50, and it's lower as well over on these areas. And plus, it's a cold front, right? Cold fronts bring cold weather. So that's going to happen. What about the wind? Well, here the wind is southwest, and once the cold front passes, it's going to be northwest. Precipitation. Remember that cold fronts bring intense precipitation, so thunderstorms are very likely, and then it's going to clear up once this entire system passes, and we get into this region called air mass weather, where Chattanooga will be in the middle of an air mass. That's a cold air mass, and not much will be going on in terms of cloud cover. Once the cold front passes, the skies will be clear. In terms of clouds, it is now partly cloudy, and once the cold front passes, we'll have clear skies. So storm clouds, and then clear. In terms of the pressure right now out here is 1,000. We can see that as you get closer to the cold front, it's 996. It gets even lower. But once that cold front passes, we have 1,000, can't quite read that. That might be 1,003, 1,006. So the pressure is going to drop as this front approaches, and then it will rise after it passes. So this is the answer for Chattanooga, Tennessee that you'll see in the answer key. Temperatures will drop, wind changes from southwest to northwest, rain will continue but dissipate as will the clouds, and the pressure will rise. Let's go on and do Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock is over here, and in Little Rock, we've already had this entire mid-latitude cyclone pass. So Little Rock is in an area that's not really going to change. The temperature is going to remain the same. The winds are going to remain from the northwest. There's not going to be any precipitation. There aren't going to be any clouds. The only thing that might change is the air pressure, which is going to rise as this cold air mass moves into the area. So here's what I put for Little Rock, Arkansas. Temperature will remain cold, the wind will be steady, no clouds, no precipitation, and a slight rise in pressure. Moving on to Jackson, Mississippi. Now, Jackson, Mississippi is right at the leading edge of the cold front, and one way that we know this is the symbol here, which indicates thunderstorms. So what we have here is going to be very similar to what we had up here in Chattanooga. The cold front's going to pass, and so I'm just going to repeat what we put before. The temperature will drop, the winds will change to northwest. Right now it's experiencing thunderstorms, and those will clear up. Clouds will clear up, and the air pressure will probably rise as the system goes through. And here is what I just summarized. Finally, let's look at Roanoke, Virginia. Now you can see that Roanoke is at the leading edge of a warm front. First of all, the temperature currently is 39 degrees, and it's snowing. Over here, we see 60 degrees, 66 degrees. So when the warm front passes, the temperature will get warmer. And again, this is the definition of a warm front. It brings warmer air into an area. The wind will change from southeast to southwest. The precipitation, which up here is frozen precipitation, will probably change to rain. So snow will change to rain. In Roanoke, currently it's completely overcast, but out here we can see that it might be partly cloudy once that warm front passes. And the air pressure, as this entire thing rotates, will remain fairly steady. And here's what I wrote for Roanoke, Virginia. Finally, the last page of your lab, on the last page of the lab report, asks you to do something similar, not necessarily in this case predict the weather, but just describe the weather in each of these areas. So this is definitely something you should be able to do by looking at a weather map for the exam that's coming up. Let's start with southern Minnesota, which is right here. MN is Minnesota. And what you can see is we have an occluded front and very intense rains and storms. So Minnesota is experiencing heavy rain associated with this occluded front. You can see the pressure is very low and the cloud cover is complete. You see some solid circles here. And so that would be an example of what's going on right now in Minnesota. Pennsylvania is over here, and you can see Pennsylvania, PA, is on the leading edge of a warm front. So there's a warm front approaching. Right now it's experiencing rain, possibly moderate rain, because we can see that it does have some of these higher colors here in terms of the amount of rain. And so it has a light rain, and then as the warm front approaches, of course, the weather will change. Southern Georgia, down here, is far from any of the fronts at this time. And because it's in this warm air mass section, right, the MT section, it's warm, 70 degrees, mild weather, clear skies, gentle winds. And of course, that will change once the cold front comes through. I hope this has been helpful to understand what was asked of you in this lab and also to prepare for our upcoming exam.